So guys, in the past, I have shared to you the pros of living in the Republic of Ireland and what I love about living in this country. But it is not to say that there are no cons of living in Ireland, and it is only fair to mention the other side of Ireland in a foreigner's point of view. So in this video guys, I'm going to share to you, based on my experience only, the disadvantages of living in Ireland. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nurse Ventura, and if you guys are new to this channel, I create content about living and working in Ireland as a nurse, and I also share our adventures inside and outside of Ireland as well. So if you are into these things, consider subscribing to my channel. If you find value in this video, you can hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. So guys, I'm living in Ireland for 5 years now, and yes, I like living in Ireland for a lot of reasons, but like anywhere else, there are disadvantages and also advantages of living in a country, and I'm not making this video to discourage you guys from coming in Ireland and pursuing your career, whether you're a nurse or whether you're something else, but I just want to share my experience to you guys and see how you feel about it. First con that I will share to you as an immigrant, the first thing you need to do is to find an accommodation or a place to stay here in Ireland. And right now, finding an accommodation is one of the biggest hurdles when you move to Ireland. There are only a few rental properties available. In fact, in Dublin, Ireland's capital, has been voted out of the 50 cities in the expat city ranking back in 2022, performing the worst in the quality of life index category, landing in the 47th place. Difficulty in finding an accommodation is one thing, but to be able to afford housing is another battle. So finding a decent accommodation at an affordable price can be quite difficult, if not impossible, in certain parts of Ireland, especially in the big cities. But the next con that I will share to you is finding somewhere new to go while still in Ireland can be quite challenging. This might be different for other people. Living here for 5 years already, I've seen a lot of amazing landscapes, beautiful sceneries and all that. But when you see one, they pretty much look the same everywhere you go. And when you're here for a long time, you'll kind of, you want to see something more, something different, something new to the eyes. And because Ireland is separated from the Great Britain by the Irish Sea and from main Europe by the Celtic Sea, you can't just hop on the train and travel to another country, like what you can do if you are in a European country, let's say Germany. So you can't do that here in Ireland. You have to hop on the plane. If you're a foreigner, you have to apply for a visa and all these things that will take time. So if you are into traveling, yes, Ireland is near to other countries as well, but you have to put in more effort compared to when you're living in a European country. So the third disadvantage in the list, booking for appointments in Ireland can take ages. Like, I'm talking about GP appointments, I'm talking about dental appointments, or even salon appointments. One time I had a terrible toothache and I had a lump in my gum, and I called several clinics in my area, and the earliest appointment that I got was a month or a month and a half from the day that I called, and that was just, it was just frustrating because I was in pain and I wanted to get sorted, to get done with, but there wasn't any available slots. Of course, if it's an emergency, they will kind of facilitate you, but they categorize what is emergency and what is not. So it's really frustrating in those certain times that you need to get services get done faster. You get frustrated and annoyed by these things, but it's the way it is. Another incident that I experienced, guys, when I was applying for my the renewal of my residence permit or my residence card, and I applied like a month ahead, like maybe 2 months ahead, so that I'll be in the queue nearer to my expiration of the card. They called me, asked me to book for another appointment because I booked too early. Even when I told the immigration officer that I had all these plans for UK and that we paid for everything, the airplane and the tickets and all that for a concert, she didn't give us any consideration. She didn't give us any consideration because she said that we applied for an appointment very early, and that it has to be at least 4 weeks ahead only, like a month before your expiration, which is sad because all that money that we spent for our UK travel was wasted, basically wasted. But anyway, that is life and that happens and we have to move on. The next con that I will share to you is that driving is a necessity. So I can say that this is a con, guys, if you don't like driving and if you have that fear of driving, especially in a foreign place. So don't get me wrong, having a car is not compulsory. For 2 years that we lived here, I didn't have a car. I only have a bicycle, and I use it going to and from the hospital or my place of work, and I got by. And I also use it going to and from the city center and to our house, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes bike ride going to the city center, and we got by fine. And also for the time being that you don't have a car, or if you don't plan on having or purchasing a car, you can use the public transportation, going to places like going to the big cities or other cities, other towns. They're okay locally and also inter-county, but you know, they are not the most reliable. They don't have the most reliable transportation, public transportation system here in Ireland. You know, sometimes it can be late, and sometimes, you know, they miss the timing and all that. And not all places are accessible by public transportation. And some of the tourist places are not really accessible by public transportation. And if you're planning to do these kinds of trips, you have to really plan ahead and see what is the feasible kind of route for you to take if you're doing public transport. So these kinds of things can really be annoying, and it can be sometimes disappointing if you want to travel around Ireland. The best option is having your own car and driving a car yourself. I only put it as a con because if you're the type of person who doesn't see yourself driving, but who loves exploring cool, you know, cute places, quaint places here in Ireland, not being able to drive is a disadvantage. And yeah, but hey, you can always learn how to drive. The fifth disadvantage of living in Ireland, guys, as a Filipino nurse, or if you're living in the Southeast Asian countries, is that it pretty much takes a day for you to travel back home. And that is a con if you're going home for an urgent reason, or you're taking a vacation for only for 2 weeks, let's say, or a week. You know, it will take you basically 48 hours for traveling. That is a con because time is gold. On top of that, the airplane tickets are very, very dear. So they can range from around 800 euros to 1,500 to 2,000 euros, depending on the airline, depending on the season, and depending on a lot of things. So your two-way ticket will cost basically your salary for 2 weeks as a nurse here in Ireland. Let's say you're flying from Dublin to Manila. The average flight will be around 25 hours, which is literally more than a day. What I said, the airplane ticket is very dear, and if you are a family of 4, you have to buy all your family members' airplane ticket, which will cost you around 4,000 to 5,000 euros for a trip. You know, so that's a big chunk of your money and your savings and all that. Compared to, let's say, if you work in Australia, if you're from the Southeast Asian countries and you work in Australia, the average flight time will be 5 hours and 24 minutes. Or let's say you're working in Canada, which is around 13 hours and 35 minutes flight time from Canada to the Philippines, which is far better than Ireland to Philippines, or to whichever Southeast Asian countries you're from. So on the top of what I've mentioned, guys, I would like to add very quickly another con, which is the weather and the cost of living, which I have mentioned multiple times in my previous vlogs. If you haven't seen those vlogs, you have to watch. I'll put the link here so you can watch it as well. I say the weather as a con is because if you're not a fan of gray skies, guys, and rainy, showery weather every day, then you won't enjoy Ireland because the majority of the days in Ireland will be gloomy and wet, especially in the winter time, and also in summertime, and also like the whole year. So if you want to know more about the cost of living in Ireland, guys, you can check out my vlog, and I'll put the link here. And if you guys want to move to Ireland to work, you can watch my vlog here, which I discuss the few things that I wish I knew before moving to Ireland. The link will be here or somewhere here, I don't know, wherever. So that is it, guys. I hope I didn't offend any Ireland fanatics. These are just personal experiences that I am sharing out there. It could be different from other people's experience of in Ireland. That's depending on each and everyone's personality, but and depending on which part of Ireland you live in, actually. Nonetheless, it was mine, it was real, it was my personal experience. Once again, guys, if you find value in this video, you can consider subscribing to my channel and giving this video a like or a thumbs up, and it will help me grow my channel further. So guys, if you're living in Ireland and you have the same or different experiences that you want to add on the list as cons or the disadvantages of living in Ireland, please let me know on the comment section. I would really appreciate it, and I would like to hear your thoughts about it. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next vlog. Bye!
Pasok yung bubuyog. Hindi ko ano pasok. Parang pasok. Ang bubuyog pa.